coach, still at Samson. And I got Coach Nick here with me right now, and it's all about the coach, baby. What's going on with you, brother?
Cool, coach.
First of all, give me the rundown of your background and where you come from getting into coaching.
So, I started at Pontchartrain my 5 and 6 year old year. When Nick was 5 and 6 years old. And I really enjoyed it. My first year, the first year that Nick played, I was just a parent. We didn't win any games. I didn't like that too much. I had some football background, so I got into it. I knew I would have something to offer, so that next year I coached the team. We went the game before the championship and lost in double overtime to Kenilworth. We fumbled on the 1 yard line and didn't make it to the playoffs, so the championship. So that's where I started. Couldn't get enough of it. I liked, what I was doing and what we were doing, and I wanted to kind of be the man. So I went from being under Odie, who is great for the kids,
right.
But I wanted to have my own spotlight, so it didn't work out there. So me and Coach Hugh decided to take and link up. We knew each other from Carver. We've been at Samson and been winning ever since.
Now, let's talk about the Samson days in a group.
Yep.
Because I got a few little things I want to get to on that whole ordeal.
Okay.
The first thing I want to talk about at Samson,
okay.
I talked to a couple coaches today, and they said, Nick, you might be the hungriest coach in the city right now because you always come close and you never got the chip.
Yeah.
Does your team feel that hungry right now?
I think so. One thing that I coach every year is 1 yard is the difference between winning and losing, and that's because I've not been to the championship by 1 yard multiple times. So that's something that I've been preaching and teaching, because that 1 yard is something that's been haunting me since I started coaching. So they have no choice but to understand the way I feel, because I've been putting it in their heads since they were 7 years old.
Now, I want to get into something that's, this word on the street.
Okay.
In the opinions of a lot of people in the city, the daddy coach.
Okay.
They say you coaching, you're only going to coach your son.
Okay.
What's your insight, or how you look at the daddy coach?
One,
or the daddy coach title.
All right, I feel like one, the kids of daddy coaches probably get it harder than everybody.
I buy that.
Right?
I totally buy that.
It's not like they get a pass. You can ask any of my parents. But I cannot, I coach, period. So I don't care if my son on the team or not on the team. Any team and every team I've had, we've been coached up, prepped up, and ready to go. So yeah, my son is on his team, and I kick other teams' ass with my son on them. So I'm a dad coach that coach other coaches when I kick their ass on the field. Excuse my language. But that's how I feel.
Put it out there. Let's talk about some 2018 football.
Yeah.
The 11 and 12 division is probably the most stacked than I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
11 teams going in, all could be ranked in the top 5.
Yeah.
What's your outlook on this whole season with your team being one of the favorites?
It's gonna be exciting. I'm curious to see if everybody has the heat that we had from the 9 and 10 championship year. I know that a lot of us have kids that have been older and bigger and things like that. So for us, I know that we had to make some adjustments with some of my skill position players. I know that other parks are going to have to make some adjustments. So going back to the daddy coach, this year you're going to really see who's able to coach, because now that kid that was a star at tight end or at running back may have to go put his hand in the dirt. So you're going to have to see, one, if you can coach that kid to still be that same athlete with his hand in the dirt as he was when he was in the backfield. So it's going to be exciting. Everybody in the 11 and 12-year-old division, we all talk, and everybody is competitive and want to win. So I'm excited that it's here, and it should live up to the hype.
Let me ask you about that, putting a hand in the dirt and kids change position.
Yeah.
And when I talk about this, I talk about Nick, your boy, and I talk about Fred, who, how I look at it, they're not hand in the dirt players.
Yep.
They won't be that. What's your look on the weight rule when it went, like 11, 12-year-old coaches, they know Fred's a running back.
Yeah.
They know this. They know Nick is not a lineman. They know this. How do you feel about the whole weight increase, or the lack thereof of the weight increase for these boys that's going to be naturally running backs and skill position players?
I think that, one, outside of even knowing, we have to understand that as a country, we are an obese country.
Yes.
Right? I'm a big guy myself.
Right.
Right? So our kids are constantly growing. Literally, you can go and buy a fat hamburger for $1, and you can buy lettuce for $2 or $3. So just the way that the world is set up, I feel we should have to keep up with that because our kids are always changing. All right. Now people say, well, if a kid is not 140, all right, then he has to be on the line. Okay, and say that's for the safety of the kids. Okay, I understand that. But now if a kid is 141, he has to put his hand in the dirt and play against a kid that's 200 and 220 pounds.
Yes.
So it's the same weight difference. Not a kid that was at a disadvantage because he was weighed more than a smaller kid is now, shouldn't he be at a disadvantage because he is now the smaller kid? So for me, honestly, I think at 9 and 10, that should be the last age that a kid has to worry about weight. All right? Not everybody is going to high school football, wants to play college football, but the way that it's set up, all right, 11 and 12, 13, 14-year-old football, I feel, should be not have a weight, or it should be increased because kids at that age are bigger kids.
And it's cheaper to gain weight.
It's cheaper to gain weight.
It's cheaper to gain weight. Yeah. Speaking of the whole weight thing, the transfer rule, let's talk about your future at Samson.
Yep.
What does it look like past 2018?
For me, I think that my message to my kids is we should feel like this is it. All right? I feel like I have 75% of the kids that will be able to go and play JV football. And some of my kids, 75% of my kids want to play at the next level. For me, I think it is time for me to release them, for me to be able to get text messages and say, Coach, we play here on Thursday or on Friday, and I can go sit back and coach them kids from afar.
Okay. What does that leave Samson program when you playing coach to all your other kids playing JV ball? What does that leave Samson as a program? Because you pretty much carrying Samson, you and Hugh carrying Samson on y'all back. What does that leave Samson as a program?
So what we are trying to do right now, we have Coach Bo, who's another coach, Coach Bob, and we are trying to get those guys to come back and to keep it going. Coach Bob, Coach Bo, all better at the younger age division. So right now they're kind of prepping themselves. We're getting parents involved. We're trying to do something this year where maybe we combine our younger kids with a different pulp. And that way we can make some noise and maybe do something where they can go ahead and take over from what me and Hugh have done.
Speaking of combining with different pulps, does that take away the I'm a Samson guy as opposed to I'm a McHugh guy, or I'm a Samson guy, I'm a St. Rod guy? The combine of teams, so you don't have a problem with that? Like, you see that as good?
So I think if it is the right situation, one, egos have to get out of the way. All right, last year, and no, all right, and no, we last year, but not really a secret. We Samson and McHugh talked about combining. However, there was so much ego in the way, and I said I feel like on McHugh's side, where that didn't happen. And the thing that angers me with that situation not happening is because we both went to the championship in our respective divisions, and we both got the piss beat out of us in our respective divisions. All right, and I think if you take kids like Big D, who I had last year, Jeray, who they had last year, or the kid Will, who they had last year, we wouldn't be able to be beat. So I think that combining can be a good thing.
I'm thinking about that team together now. If y'all and McHugh them, y'all would have been a hell of a team.
Yes, sir.
Y'all would have been a hell of a team.
Yep.
Coach, thank you for your time, bro. Coach Nick, you're not the bull, right? You're not the big bull, huh?
No, I don't go.
You're the great.
I'm the great.
Yeah, the great.
I'm the great.
That's the great. I got Coach Nick, the great timers. 1008 TV Youth Sports is all about the coach, man. And we at Samson. Holla back. Yeah.